crews will be very happy.
Well, the first of our finals, the lightweight double sculls for men. Lightweights, that means that the maximum weight for either of the two men, it can't be more than 72.5 kilos, an average of 70 for the pair. Lane 1, furthest away from you, it'll be top of the picture, Czechoslovakia, then Holland, who got a bronze in the World Championships last year when they were in Milan. Lane 3, the two Austrians from Vienna, who missed the bronze medal by just 1.5 seconds. Then Spain, keep an eye out for them. The Federal Republic of Germany, who actually got the silver medal in 1988, but that was with a different crew. And completing the lineup, Sweden. The start, absolutely vital here, Chris.
Yes, this has the makings of a very close race. Austria, the crew to watch, the winners in Lucerne, perform well so far in the regatta here. But watch out too for the Spanish combination. It's Austria as we look down from the castle top down onto the field, and they've all got away to a very even start.
And Chris, the lake is quite wide here. There's always talk from the crews about little movement in the water, but you've rowed here. What is the feeling you get out there?
Well, the water's very light. It's a very deep course, and it moves around a lot. So if you get fluky winds, it can make it really very tricky. But as you can see, the water's very flat today. The Austrians rowing cleanly there, leading the field. Got just about a third of a length after the first 250 metres or so. Now, I don't think there'll be any complaints today, but earlier in the week there were. The wind was varying a lot.
So we come up to the 500-metre point, and indeed Austria quickest there, 1:38.78 for the first 500 metres, but Spain just only half a second behind, very close. Czechoslovakia third in these early stages. The Austrians certainly making a decisive start on this.
Yes, they're pushing right out. They know they've got to get away from the Spanish pair. The Spanish pair have a lot of experience between them. Clement, the stroke man, just slightly out of the picture, is a man who's won a medal as a heavyweight. He actually won a silver medal in the Los Angeles Olympics, which is very unusual for lightweights, where they're competing against people several kilos or many kilos very often heavier than them. And DeMarco there at bow, who's won 2 or 3 medals, gold medals of the lightweight Cox's 4. So they're very, very experienced, and they're pushing up against those Austrians who just missed a medal last year and be very keen to get the medal this year.
It's quite important perhaps to mention, Chris, you're talking about two men whose weight will be about 140 kilos, but these boats about 10 meters 80 in length, but 33 kilos the weight, very light but very strong.
Yes, the minimum weight for these boats is around the 28 kilo mark. They have to be very strong and very rigid, and that's the name of the game today. High technology, plastic, Kevlar, carbon fibre, all these materials in these boats. But here we see them rowing stroke for stroke.
And the order the same at 1,000 metres as it was at 500, but the Spanish putting in a challenge here, and much quicker over that second 500, 1:46.11. And Chris, now we come to this very crucial third 500.
Yes, it's conventional for the most of these crews will push on hard through the third 500, and it will be interesting to see what happens between the first two. And over on the far side there, in lane 1, the Czechoslovakian crew, and this is a novelty. Traditionally, there's been very little interest from these European countries in the non-Olympic lightweight rowing, and this is the first time a Czechoslovakian pair has appeared in lightweight rowing. It's got no form, and so it's slightly unknown quantity, but they're well up with the leaders at this point, and they're in a good position to attack if they've got the power and the speed.
Just coming into the picture also, the bow of the Federal Republic of Germany, that's Carsten Kruger at stroke, and Jürgen Zähler in the bow. 1,500, and the Austrians have pushed on, and they've gone much quicker, but that's really important now. That angle, very deceptive there, because the Austrians, as you said earlier, Chris, they know that they're going to be challenged hard now.
They are. But looking at the West Germans there, and they're forward to the Spanish double. Long and strong, the Spanish, looking for a gold medal. I don't think the Ferdinand Clement has ever actually won a gold medal, and so he'll be really looking for one this time. He's been competing internationally for 9 years, but it's the Austrians making their way, looking out to about a length lead. The question is whether or not the Austrians can hold that off, and whether the Spanish have got anything left. They're looking a bit laborious at the moment, the Spanish. They're certainly going to have to find a bit more spring and life if they're to get back on terms with the Austrians, who look quite reasonably within themselves at this point.
And of course they've got the advantage in that they have the lead, and therefore they can see exactly what's happening. They can keep their eye on the left there to the Spanish, past the 1750-meter mark, and I think now the Spanish are beginning to move. This was where the plan for them starts to unfold. The Czechoslovakians at the top of the picture there, but it's the Spanish are the ones to keep the eye on as they come into about the last 120 meters now, and the Austrians really having to dig deep now as the Spanish are closing on every stroke past the yacht, which is a good guide as they come into the last 50 meters. The Austrians, have they got enough? The Spanish are still closing. The Czechoslovakians haven't got any more to give. It's the Spanish who are really closing. They're just below the picture. Now you can see the bow coming in, and the Austrians are being cut down stroke by stroke as they come to the line, and they're through together, and that has to be a photo finish. Czechoslovakia certainly third, but my goodness, Chris, what a fright the Spanish must have given those Austrians.
Absolutely. It didn't look as if the Austrians had any flexibility. They couldn't reply. The Spanish double just sat up and really punched through that last 200 meters, and they took the best part of a length in the last 15 or 20 strokes.
And Chris, just look at the pain. You've experienced some of that as we see it again coming in here.
Yes, at this point it's just really a question of who gets the last stroke in first. It looks to be the Austrians as they approach the line, but at this point there's really nothing between them. But as the Austrians reach out to the next stroke, the boat surges and they just appear to have made it first. We'll have to wait for the result.
And here it comes. And the Austrians have got it, and the Spanish are denied. But what a fantastic effort by both crews. And we're only about 45 kilometres from the Austrian border over to Klagenfurt, over the mountains, and there's a huge contingent, and they've delighted a real crowd of supporters here. So the gold medal going to Austria in the men's double sculls. Look at it here once again. Just watch for this surge of the Austrian bow there as the Spanish throw absolutely everything in. Comes the line, it's going to be on that last stroke, and it's in fact that Austrian bow that gets there first, not more than, well, half a metre, if that. Austria by just 0.2 of a second over Spain. Czechoslovakia taking